advanced artificial intelligence learning technology. Next slide, please. And as I said, Professor Clement Leong is not connected yet. We will see if can give his talk later. So we're going to present aspect of digital transformation of higher education in the Republic of Kazakhstan by Berais Sultan. Please, Berais, come on. You may need this.
Which one? This one?
Hello everyone, my name is Bibars, and today I will give a presentation aspects of digital transformation of higher education in the Republic of Kazakhstan. Let's briefly go over the outline of today's presentation. I will start with the importance of digital transformation, then infographic on benefits of digital transformation in education, digital transformation strategies, case studies from Italy and Norway, challenges in digital transformation, ethical considerations, future directions.
Otherwise, you take your PDF in this better.
No. PDF. No PDF.
There is one.
Chaque PDF.
It's fine. It's my presentation PDF. There is no.
It's your presentation. That's not PDF. Okay.
No, I mean,
Don't worry, it's the paper.
이제 지금 이제 쓰는 거예요?
Slide signal.
스타트라는
Importance of digital transformation, quality of digitalization, quality of education. Digitalization enhances the quality of education, increases accessibility, and develops educational systems. The importance of digital transformation in higher education can be overstated. It significantly enhances the quality of education by making learning more interactive and flexible. Digital tools allow students to develop modern skills and prepare them for the demands of the contemporary job market. Furthermore, digital transformation impacts university management and internal ecosystems, leading to improved educational processes. Infographics on the benefits of digital information in education. Kazakhstan has made notable progress in digital transformation. According to the 2023 Digital Competitiveness Ranking, Kazakhstan ranks 34th out of 64 countries. This ranking reflects our nation's success in integration digital technologies into education, particularly in the knowledge category, which includes training and education. Continuous efforts are being made to further enhance our digital competitiveness. Digital transformation strategies. National strategies and the programs documents such as the law on education and the digital Kazakhstan program are key to digitalizing education in Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan has implemented educational management systems and updated educational content and developed IT competence. The number of graduates with IT skills increased from 2,780 800 in 2018 to 320,828 in 2020. Successful projects include the OpenEU educational platform providing free access to online courses and the online.edu.tz platform for video lessons supporting remote learning during the COVID-19 pandemic. Case studies from Italy and Norway. Examining international practice, Italy and Norway offer valuable insights. Italy has achieved success through organizing digital learning using MOOCs and implementing blockchain technology for authentic electronic certificates and promotion open university science. Norway's strategy emphasizes flexible education, digital innovation in teaching and learning, and effective use of education and research data. Comparing these strategies with Kazakhstan's approach helps identify best practices that can be adapted locally. Challenges in digital transformation. Despite the progress, Kazakhstan faces several challenges in digital transformation. Key issues include insufficient digital skills among teachers, infrastructure challenges, the quality of electronic educational materials, and the students' readiness for self-study. Addressing these challenges requires target solution and the continuous improvement in digital infrastructure and training. Ethical considerations. Ethical considerations are crucial in the digital transformation process. Issues such as privacy and data protection, ensuring accessibility for all students, and maintaining academic integrity in a digital environment must be addressed. It is essential to implement measures that uphold ethical standards and ensure that digitalization benefits all students. Future directions. Look ahead. There is a need for a sector-specific digital transformation strategy. This strategy should focus on developing digital architecture and competencies, and transition from digital universities to smart universities, creating a flexible and innovative creating a flexible and innovative educational environment is key to maximizing the two benefits of digital transformation. Conclusion. In conclusion, digital transformation offers significant opportunities to enhance the educational environment in Kazakhstan. By strategically planning and implementing digital solutions, we can create robust and modern education systems that meets the needs of the digital age. Continuous development and adaptation are necessary to ensure equal educational opportunities for all students.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I have one question for you, one simple question.
So I'm curious to know if Kazakhstan has implemented or planned to implement a system for exchanging certificate, digital certificate for students. If the students achieve some result, they can prove a digital certification for this achievement. Like there is one system we are using in Italy that is called Open Badge, and we exchange. So you can prove that you reach, for instance, an exam, and you can move to another university and bring your digital certification. Do you have this system, or you plan to have this? Yes.
Do you like to answer this question? I can answer.
Sanayda da цифровой диплом бар ғой, цифрлы сертификат. Сондайларды қолдану қазақстанда пландарында жоспарларында бар ма дейді. Бізде мысалы Италияда соны қолданатын сондай программалар бар. Ол жерде сен цифровой дипломды көрсетсең, сенің ішінде тапсырған экзамендерің, алған білімдерің барлығын кез келген университетке барсаң ашық түрде көрсетеді. Ол цифровой
For exchanging credits,
Сен сол сертификатпен басқа университетке
digital credits.
Yes, we are planning. And I think seen interpretation as not symmetry as the Kaçı bizde o jоспарда бар. Okuyun practice olan bir gün. Және де біз осы блокчейн негізделген және смарт контракттарға негізделген осындай дипломдарды енгізбекшіміз деген сөз.
Actually, in Kazakhstan have this kind of system. They have certificates to ensure the achievements of students, and they can easily exchange to another university with this certificate. And also, University of Eurasian National University, they are planning to do this kind of system.
The question is, you already have or you plan to have?
In a few universities in Kazakhstan, they have.
They already have something.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. So probably, okay. Okay. Okay, I'm summarizing. So there was an answer from co-authors on the room that they explained that in Kazakhstan, few universities already have this system in place. So I'm glad to this presentation. We see, to say thanks to Sultan for this presentation. We see Professor Clement is not connected yet. Then we go on with the second part, the Ethicae workshop on ethical application for human-centered cyber society. Again, the presentation is from University of Kazakhstan, from National Eurasian National University of Astana, and is going to present ethical aspect of analyzing Kazakh political discourse. The presentation is given by Artambik Zulkazov. Please, Artambik, come on.
Hello everyone, my name is Altan Zulkazov. I am from Eurasian National University, Kazakhstan. The topic of my presentation is ethical aspects of analyzing Kazakh political discourse. The outline of my work is goals of the work and the research methods, key principles, and conclusion. The main goals for the work is evaluate the officiality and openness of political discourse sources, adhere to ethical principles when researching political discourse on social media, develop necessary tools for analyzing political discourse, and create textbooks, ensure transparency and fairness in research results, it's protect participants' confidentiality, ensure informed consent, maintain fairness and impartiality during analysis, and develop effective analysis tools for Kazakh political discourse and ensure the efficient operation. And the next slide is research methods. The research utilizes computer processing of the Kazakh language, involving the construction of formal models for grammar and sentiment analysis, and the creation of a knowledge base on election topics. Expected outcomes is 300,000 for text corpus of political discourse, ontological models, knowledge bases for election advertising, special political candidates, and election debates with a volume of at least 2,000 dictionary entries and software application for processing and sentiment analysis. Key activities involve collecting data from online and print media, developing ontological models, ensuring the reliability of information through cross-verification and discussion among researchers. The next slide is key principles of ethical aspects. The first one is officiality and openness. Focus on sources or candidates openly and officially express their viewpoints, and no violation of legal or ethical norms in analyzing open source. The second is privacy. It includes maintaining confidential participants, obtain consent when processing comments. The third is transparency, clearly state research objectives and methods, ensure clarity about the study's context, and fairness and impartiality, avoid bias during data analysis and interpretation, consider multiple perspectives and political beliefs, and second is informed consent. It includes the consent from participants where possible, ensure comprehensive understanding of research goals by stakeholders. Next is minimize negative impact. Protect participants from psychological or social impacts. And the next one, cultural sensitivity. Avoid stereotypes or biases assessments. And the next is AI transparency. Discuss AI analysis openly. Address possible algorithm limitations and errors. And the next, non-discrimination. This prohibit discrimination based on political beliefs, social status, or on other factors. And the next one is ethical review. It's conduct ethical reviews of research projects with analysis. And the last is legal compliance. It's adhere to laws and regulations governing data usage and research conduct. The conclusion. A foundational framework, the ethical considerations outlined provided a robust foundation for analyzing political discourse, particularly on social networks. The role of technology and AI. It recognizes the significant role of technology and AI in analysis, commit to transparency and ethical guidelines in AI usage, and navigating complexities. It's good ethical guidelines help navigate the complexities of political discourse analysis in Kazakhstan and ensure responsible and scientific research in the dynamic landscape of social media. These principles ensure that the analysis of Kazakh political discourse remains ethical, transparent, and culturally sensitive, fostering responsible research practice in the digital age. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So thank you very much, Artemik. And we just recognize we will have the connection very soon from Professor Clement Leong. Then we go on with the next speaker, which is Aurora Castellani from Italy. Ethical Principle in Artificial Intelligence for Children, a Protocol for a Scoping Review. I think I saw before Aurora is already connected. Please, we can move to the next presentation. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning. Please, you can start.
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Good morning to everybody. I am Aurora Castellani, and today I want to discuss the ethical principles involved in artificial intelligence for children. AI is changing our world, bringing both benefits and challenges. Its increasing complexity raises essential questions such as how can humans and AI coexist and what ethical principles should guide its development. Mm, These in the field of AI ethics has evolved alongside technological advancements, and various organizations have created guideline and guidance papers to ensure AI is used responsibly. These guidelines, known as soft law, provide ethical and standards but are not legally binding. While there has been a lot of discussion about AI ethics for adults, we must carefully consider how AI affects children. Because AI is already integrated in children's lives through games, educational tools, and monitoring devices, and um, these make it essential establish specific and unified ethical principles for them. And this is the gap that our research aims to fill. The achievement of a unified vision of AI ethics for children is complicated by the nature of the guidance paper, which fall under the category of grey literature. This literature can offer several advantages, such as reduced publication bias and expanded scientific evidence. Still, it also presents limitations due to its rapid publication, a lack of legal constraints, and difficulties in access and archiving. Despite these limitations, the benefits of grey literature are significant. We adopted a scoping review method to understand which ethical principles should guide AI with children as users. This systematic approach has permitted us to examine a broad range of documents, including government report and guidance paper, providing a comprehensive overview of the current evidence. Despite this approach is helpful, there are some limitations, such as variability in approach and a lack of critical appraisal of included studies. To address these issues, we adopted a specific protocol to our scoping review, and today I will present our methodology and some preliminary results. We reviewed AI ethical guidelines for children, and the aim is developing a comprehensive framework for ethical AI use and development with children as primary users. We adopted a protocol inspired by the PRISM extension for scoping reviews, and our process involved several key steps. We selected only documents explicitly mentioning AI and ethical principles or requirements or guidelines or recommendations. And we included only documents with a specific focus on children as primary users. To ensure accessibility and relevance, we selected only documents published since 2018 and available in English. Given the absence of a unified database for ethical guidelines, we conducted manual searches in global inventories such as Algorithm Watch or Linking Artificial Intelligence Principles project. We also performed a keyword-based web search using Google and explored Scopus database for relevant studies. Additionally, we use the citation chaining technique to identify further relevant documents. After the documents have been selected, we use the sketch engine software to extract keyword and the ethical principles across vast text data. This software offers several features that were fundamental in our analysis. Keyword function has permitted us to identify single word and multi-word terms from our documents. This function identify the most significant terms that more frequently occurring in our documents compared to a reference corpus. Sketch Engine offers and presents several reference corpus, but for our analysis, we selected English Web 2021, which contains 52 billions of words from various online sources, reflecting contemporary documents included international organizations, an international executive body, education and training departments, multinational companies, research institutes, universities, and ministries. Additionally, the application context of the documents included educational context, the context of children's social care, and the SIP document have no specific application context. After the selected documents have been analyzed, we've identified 26 categories corresponding to as many ethical principles. We grouped these categories or ethical principles according to their conceptual relationship, for example, explainability and transparency, and according to the macro categories identified by UNICEF in 2021. We obtained 6 complete macro categories, each containing 3 to 7 principles. But we have not yet analyzed the frequencies of the principles in the various documents. Our methodology and the document selection process could introduce biases, often not indexed in academic databases. Great literature might lead to non-systematic selection and missing potentially important guidelines. And limiting our methodology and our scoping review to English documents would also exclude potential important information in another languages, but the software support only comparing documents in the same language. To mitigate these biases, we follow the strict protocol for document selection and screening. We continuously monitor the literature. We use multiple screening strategies and applied mixed analysis method. And we discussed all the decisions among all the authors. While the qualitative content analysis could be subjective, the use of the software should reduce this potential bias. Establishing a protocol for our study aims to provide a robust framework for mapping the current research landscape and ensuring rigor in document screening and selection. And this framework can improve our understanding of AI ethics for children and contribute to advancing research in this domain. For example, this methodology can show how different countries represent AI ethics for children in their guidance documents. And this can improve our understanding of resource access disparity among nations. This methodology can reveal cultural and social priorities because, for example, some countries could have guidelines with a focus on specific ethical issues. And this methodology can also reveal disparities in regulatory framework because countries with more robust regulation may produce fewer ethical documents as ethical standards are already being integrated in the existing laws. Additionally, this methodology can improve our understanding of the primary application areas of the guidelines because the prevalence of ethical guidelines in specific domains such as education or healthcare may highlight specific pressing issues, for example, privacy, security, and equal access to educational resources. Finally, our methodology can reveal the underrepresentation of some ethical principles, and these could mean that some ethical principles are less of a priority, or that they require more examination and more reflection. In conclusion, this methodology will help us to develop an ethical framework to understand which ethical principles should guide AI with children as users and in what order of priority. And I hope to show you all the results soon. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Aurora. Very interesting presentation, and I see a lot of potential future results developing stemming from this research. So I have just a question for you. You showed the result, the preliminary result of using the Sketch software, and so I'm curious if you do any kind of, let's say, any kind of validation of this data by expert. I mean, like you evaluate the quality of the result from, of course, from an expert point of view.
Yes, we conduct a research to understand if the results that we have found are applicable in our specific context of work, and our context of work is the AI-based telerehabilitation for children with neurodevelopmental disorders, and we are working on field survey research with different experts, and we at the moment we found that there is a need to evaluate each ethical principles in a risk-benefit ratio for the child.
So like you have a set of documents that you expect to be returned and classified in a certain way, like a test set that you adopt for checking if the results are reliable. And
Yes.
of course. Then, of course, the value of this research is to find the documents that you don't know, I mean, or classification that you don't know, but you know, in the test phase, you can check if certain target that you reach as expected. So, okay. So thank you very much, Aurora. And thank you for your effort. You know, we are privileged by the time, and Italy is very early in the morning, and you did your presentation even earlier because we skipped one presentation here. So thank you very much. The claps from the audience. Okay, I will go on with my presentation, and we have just a few hopes that Professor Clement Leung or his co-author will join before the end of the session. Okay, I have to share. So what I should do? Sorry, it's here. This one. Who's- Okay. Oh, wait. We see Zifei 2 is connected. Good morning, Zifei. Zifei 2, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. Are you ready to give your presentation?
Uh, could you give me maybe more minutes or next one to present it?
I mean, if you can give it now, would be better. If I understand you have to start your PowerPoint and share the screen. Is there a button to share the screen somewhere?
Yes.
Yeah. You should see the share the screen button in the command bar.
Okay.
So I ask the audience to be patient in a moment. We're gonna have the presentation of the paper Large Language Model for Emotion Evolution Prediction that will be presented by Zifei Xu, co-author with Professor Clement Leung.
Okay.
Okay, yes, if you can share the screen.
Let me try it.
Yeah, just right. You should see a button in the bar.
Okay. I just see it.
So see if I should. Di condividere? Riusciranno gli emitti evitare? Okay. So this is the button in the bar, as you see.
I have clicked the share the screen button, but nothing have happened.
You have to click the button.
Click the button.
Then
Yeah.
entire screen.
Already clicked it, but nothing
entire
happened.
screen
Entire screen and then share.
and then share. So click the button.
Maybe I just leave it existed and open it again.
No, okay. Oh, no.
Left.
Okay. Vado io là. No, perché la mia era l'ultima. Okay, sorry for Aurora, which is still connected. I'm going on because since she has some difficult, and I go directly to the next presentation of Etikai. Okay, just a moment. Hello? Okay, so I'm going to present ethical boundaries in AI-generated imagery analysis of controversial content. Concept. This paper was developed jointly with Valentina Franzoni and Emanuele Florindi from the University of Perugia and the University of Modena, Reggio Emilia, Italy. So basically, we're going to talk about ethical questions about controversial AI-generated content. And in particular, we will focus on this aspect, generating child sexual abuse material, those called SAM. And we also discuss some issue related with virtual GSAM, which is a currently very hot topic, as we will see. And we will discuss possible limit of use to be imposed on image, text, and multimedia generation program based on AI. So what basically justify this approach is the development of digitization, the development of internet and the ubiquity of IT digitization, and increasing access of potential criminal to potential victim, moving traditional crimes to new technology, creating new forms of crimes. This leads to developing potentially harming technology, in particular generative AI and LLM, large language model, represent a very important potential threats for new kind of crimes. In particular crimes, we are particularly sensitive about crimes against children, against minors. And actually, this increase of impact of crimes has led to some different initiatives. For instance, the United States on Safe Internet Day of 2024 was asking for focusing the attention of policies on children's rights, in particular, which are threatened by this phenomena. And has the Global Alliance, we brought the Global Alliance assessment of 2023, described the volume of children abuse, content, sexual abuse in children increased 80% since 2019. So internet and digitalization is one of the main factors for increasing this type of crimes. In particular, we focus on generative AI. Generative AI is described as a generate text to star, that means text to different multimedia generation, to produce different types of results from text that usually put prompt. and generating images, video, audio, test code, three-dimensional model and simulation in a different kind of fields and application area. And ethical issues are involved with generative AI in typical areas such as alignment, artistic ownership and copyright, toxic content, user content, cybercrime, fairness, and bias. This area and these issues apply to the general field of AI-generated content, not in particular on the area of child abuse-generated content, but on any area. Alignment is about to be able to train AI system to make them harness, useful, honest, and theoretically in line with human rights. Alignment is a very important issue connected with technical aspects, how to train a system in order to comply with some ethical value, normative aspects like who should decide these values, and calibration, how to tune and validate this kind of approach. Artistic ownership and copyright is another issue. Training of AI system, copyright and intellectual property violation range from unauthorized and compensated collection of tested images from AI. Recently, everybody knows that the New York Times was suing OpenAI for illicitly using New York Times article to train large language model like ChatGPT. Okay, so New York Times was claiming that it's copyright and the use of his article without no permits. Okay, so in 2023, the US guideline from the Copyright Office specify when and how much AI may be used in a work and still enjoy copyright protection. That is the problem is also what is the copyright owner of an AI product developed, for instance, with article of New York Times? Is it OpenAI or New York Times? You know, it's not clear. So this is a typical controversial issue. Another one, the one we most focus our paper, is toxic content, user engagement, and cybercrimes. We discovered that many AI-generated content systems can be used for misuse. So they can use it for a different purpose for what they were designed, to help the criminal online activities. It's very typical, and that doesn't base back to the AI-generated content, the use of scams or blackmail. But in this case, the crime became also more sophisticated. If you use AI-generated email, the quality is different, can be targeted different audience. And we know many cases in which large language systems are used for creation of disinformation, fake news, propaganda, and is very evident cases of deep fakes, images, and sound videos. Okay, so misuse of generative AI is a relevant danger. And finally, another typical issue is fairness and bias, which is connected from the ethical point of view with most AI systems. Bias on data distribution, bias on value which are embedded on data and they are reflected by the system. And of course, mechanisms for assessing bias and restriction are already in place. IEEE P7000 started a series has been developed exactly to evaluate, since the design phase of an AI system, AI autonomous system, this aspect of biases. And this, of course, can lead to emergences of stereotypes, discriminatory biases, and sexist representation in text, and in the output and the images. Okay. But we speak about CSAM, child sexual abuse material. So this term is relatively new, and it comes it's no more used the term child pornography, but child abuse, in order to point out and include the different modality in which abuse events take places. In particular, we saw the rise of new types of event online: grooming, sexting, live streaming abuse. Unfortunately, about CSAM, the situation is that there are different laws in different countries. So there is not a universally agreed upon definition, which is always depending on the age of consent, which is different from every country. There is a different sensitivity in different countries. And this represents the first problem, although in CSAM there is a quite large agreement. But even more, the problem is coming with defining virtual CSAM. Virtual CSAM is even more difficult to define. There is actually no common agreement at all, and even is not universally perceived as a crime. So what will CSAM types? We know. In CSAM, we are speaking about child abuse material, which actually involves child. In CSAM, we are speaking about the virtual aspect of this. So basically, AI generated system, AI generating content system can be used to entirely generate computer images or video or audio, where typically the subject is a child, altering the image of adult to look like a child, altering the real image of a child so the child appears to be engaged in sexual activity. That means to use image of real child not engaged in sexual activity like they were engaged in such activities. These are the basic types of virtual CSAM, which does not involve CSAM sources, but let's say ordinary images of adult, ordinary images of ordinary child, and entire computer-generated images, virtual images. On the other hand, there are more deep view CSAM, the so-called inverse view CSAM, where recording of real child victims are altered to appear fictional with a technical cartoonization, and embedded CSAM, that means systems which are training by using real content to generate abuse virtual content. On these last two types, there is a more common agreement of abuse. In particular, there are countries which do not forbid this type of CSAM, but there is a larger agreement on regulations for punishing and protecting this type of system. Another type of system is also extend to depiction of imaginary minors engaging in sexual explicit conduct represented through drawings, art, animation, video games, space, literature, paintings, films, etc. The sensitivity of considering this type of VCSM in which the character completely imaginary, there is a less common agreement in these cases. And the controversial issues which are involved in these cases, like prohibiting this type of system would be an infringement of free of thought of artistic freedom. This is a typical argument which is presented against possible law or regulation punishing a completely arbitrary generation of VCSM of this type. So what are the crucial issues? I didn't understand that. Okay. Sorry?
No.
No, what's one? What are the crucial issues with the VCSM as I presented now? The crucial issues is this second, I go straight to the second question. Is this completely imaginary? That means completely synthesized characters, stories, having nothing to do with the real situation. Is this as a value, for instance, employing non-existent children could be a valid alternative to sexual exploration of real children? I know it's a quite controversial issue to discuss this point, but this is reasonable. Can be this form of system preventing the expansion of this type of crimes? Actually, many social science studies show that VCSM does not prevent the escalation of pedophilic behavior. VCSM, on the other hand, can progress CSM addiction of people, and VCSM, more importantly, can fuel the abuse of children by legitimizing and reinforcing one's view of children. So various social science studies show this from a psychological and clinical point of view. And the most important thing is the extreme danger of these products is that they can be used for grooming children. So this is a product that can use a generative AI product can be used by criminals to groom children, to induce children to act, to do the so-called desensitization, reducing inhibition, and accepting a normalization of sexual demand from adulthood. And this is the most important danger on this kind of products of generative AI. So the question is, what kind of countermeasure we can currently take? The first one is very primitive, but is certainly the most available one, is to make a restriction, to implement a restriction on prompts that the system can have. Blocking user requests based on keywords or statement. It's not very sophisticated answer, but it can work. Of course, there are other more deeper scientific issues. To understand better how generative AI encode values, to embed it, then obtain generative AI with ethical behavior, not just like a filter to put on prompts or to put on the output, but intrinsically to be able to assess bias and to assess potential misuse. There are examples, despite of this topic, there are example of ChatGPT trained by user to become a racist, for instance. Okay, so misuse is a very difficult thing to avoid in such systems. And moreover, there are, as I mentioned before, there are many initiatives, in particular ICCSA standard for model process for addressing ethical concept within system design, ICCSA standard for transparency on autonomous system, and techniques for assessing biases and misuse, although they are really in a very early stage. Another issue is, which is rising in particular with ICCSA, is open source. A typical measure is to require that the software producer provide the open source, the source of their system. In the sense that providing open source is providing maximum transparency and verifiability. Anyone can verify if the system is reaching the purpose. But on the other hand, this can provide an opportunity for deriving clones of this system without the rightful protection. And of course, providing open source also raises intellectual property issues and responsibility issues as well. I'm saying last few words on increasing consciousness of ICCSA in the country legislation. In particular, UK was one of the first country to have laws in place since the 1990s. And they banned CSAM, and of course CSAM now is quite international agreement position to ban CSAM, but they also banned VCSAM, and considering illegal creating, possessing, and selling VCSAM. Recently, as an example, UK success standard has been banned for using any AI creating tools for 5 years, not creating tools specially designed for VCSAM, but creating tools we can misuse it, like Stable Diffusion AI, which has been reportedly exploited by criminals to create the hyper-realistic VCSAM, so the misuse. And a UK court banned a sex offender to use these tools for 5 years. Another example comes from the Italian Criminal Code, which extended the law against the CSAM, which dates back to 1998, to VCSAM in 2006. In particular, it defined virtual images made using minors, images of minors under 18 minors. So in Italy, we punish one of the first type of VCSAM that I mentioned before, the one derived maybe by cartoonization or alteration of, or even using image of minors and not originally engaged in such activity, but using image of minors to generate synthetic images. So basically, I conclude, we saw some issues which are posed by generative AI for VCSAM, different national and international regulation which do not allow in practice a shared ethics. We have a different sensitivity in different countries. And the main issues for blocking VCSAM is that they do not prevent, they are not like easy way to keep, to diminish the risk of this type of crimes against the abuse of children, but they do not prevent the escalation to pedophilic behavior. They can fuel abuse of children. They can represent very dangerous generative AI products for harming children, to be used as a tool for harming children. Countering is not easy because it's not even perceived as illicit in many countries. Therefore, access blocking and filtering and censorship may be a currently possible solution, waiting for more technology-grounded solution, like I say, embedding ethical behavior in the systems, except with respect to the what I call by-patch solution. You put a patch on a problem by filtering the output or filtering the input, etc. Okay, this finished my presentation. Thank you very much. I'm available for any question. Is it connected soon? Okay. If there are not any question, I ask Zifei Su. Are you there? Zifei?
Yes, I'm there. Can you hear me?
Okay. You can go on with your presentation as planned on large language models.
Okay.
Model for emotion evolution prediction, Zifei Su and Professor Clement Leon. Please, Zifei.
Okay, let me see.
You can share your screen.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes. You can put on full screen.
Okay. So let's get started for large language model of emotion evolution prediction.
You can turn PowerPoint to full screen presentation. Full screen.
Full screen.
Full screen.
What is a full screen?
Yeah, you click on the button like play down
I think okay.
of F5. Yes, that one.
What is a screen for now? Maybe let me shut down and share the screen again.
Share again. Hello. You can start again and go on, please.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute.
Okay. Go on, please.
So for now, is the full screen.
Okay, now it's okay, please.
Okay, so my topic is the large language model for emotion evolution prediction. And for the introduction, we studied and investigate how emotion can be recognized and classified and predict using multimodal data. And we categorize emotional states into positive, which is a competent, and the negative incompetent group, assess emotion competence and developed a stochastic model and distract and dynamic processing of emotional states and offering a framework to study how emotion evolved and their suit impact on individuals. And we also explore the potential large language model to assess and facilitate accurate emotion recognition in the zero-shot situations. So the background, the emotion play a critical role in human interaction and decision making, especially in safety-sensitive roles, such as the pilot surgery and the emergency responder. The accurate emotion recognition can help monitor and improve performance, ensure safety, and enhance overall being. And for example, there is a recent alarm in accident involved, which is a pilot who adapt to shut down the engine of an airplane in the middle flight. Later found the suffering from the depression, and this example underscores the critical need for efficient management and understanding of emotion professional setting which safety and life are at risk. So the what is the emotion recognition? The emotion recognition refer to the technological process of identify and interpreting human emotion and people varying significant in their ability to accurate uh, recognize the emotion of the other, and it leads the emotional recognition field and influence individual performance, decision, and behaviors. The emotion recognition and prediction technology has gained significant interest due to the potential enhance safety, support mental health, and improve users' experience. And this field has been acknowledgement and as a critical factor enhance human safety and has thus to the subject of the intensive research. So for now, the emotion recognition and prediction technique has developed two main types. The first is the single model system. It utilizes a single type data, such as the text, speech, and the physical expression to detect and predict the emotion. And the other is the multimodal system. The MER is the multimodal emotion recognition system has enhanced accuracy and robustness by integrating data, for example, like the physical expression, speech pattern, and physiological signal. So for the methodology, the emotions are dynamic and continuous transition from one state to the other, and the accuracy predict of the emotional state of the individual is essential, particular when assigning work roster and coordinate tasks that require high concentration and emotional stability, and such emotional assessment are key to preventing potential accidents and errors that could arise from impact judgment and caused by adverse emotional state. For instance, a worker dealing with unmanagement anger or extreme sadness might not have the necessary focus or decision-making capacity to safety operating machinery or make a surgical split-second decision. So, according to Ekman's model, which has the 6 primary emotions, the positive, we defined the positive one, which is happiness, surprise, and neutral, and the negative emotions, the sadness, disgust, and anger. And then we propose a key element in this model, the emotion stability factor, we call the lambda. And for the methodology, we represent the emotional states from at time t by st. T is the time and st is the personal emotional change with the time. And in decade, the first st can be taken on the value positive one or negative one. And we suppose st equal to 0 and equal to 1 when we will represent transition time by time point by pointing process. And now the st equal to 1 if the number of the transition in the time interval from 0 to t is even, and the negative 1 if the number is odd. And we can see this formula. The pk is the number of Poisson points in the time interval from 0 to t and with the parameter. So if we analyze this formula, we can see according to this image, we can understand the change of the emotional states of the different individual under the different condition. And if we analyze day by day probability and we note the achieving and maintain over 50 probability of the positive emotion with the first day, and is quite feasible across all the value of the emotional stability factor. And and for the with the probability ranging from 60% to 80%, and however the duration over which this probability is maintained varies markedly, and while the emotional stability factor lambda equal to 0.3 maintains this level for up to 4 days, and the emotional stability factor, the lambda equal to 0.9, see the repeated decrease and reaching 50% by the second day, and this repeat decline might suggest need a more frequency or robust positive reinforcement and interpretation to suit positive in the such situations. And for the previous, we talked the even situation, and for now we talk the number of points in the time interval is the old situations, and the difference is the cosine and the sine. So for this paragraph, we provide the dynamic of the probability over time, and it is clear from the figure that the emotion stability factor with the different attenuation constant and can significantly affect the duration and intensity probability state over several days. And for the lambda equal to 0.3, the probability start out strong but decay slow, indicate the linear effect or states slow weak. For the lambda equal to 0.6, the probability are dropping faster. This indicates that the state dissipating faster and that the emotional instantly or probability staying in the same state decay faster. And for while the lambda equal to 0.9, the probability drop very quickly. The emotional state dissipates rapidly with the probability falling below 50% with the first 2 days, and this could indicate effective external support and suit where the event causing the state has a short-term impact. So for the data and experiment part, for the first experiment, we choose these 3 data sets: the emotion detection, physical expression training, and the neutral human image for emotion recognition. And for the second experiment, we add more data set, which we called the MEL, the multimodal emotion lies data set. So the task define for this first experiment, we randomly chose 10 image selects for each these 3 data set, which we show for this side, and the totally is the 60 image, and give them 4 real life scenario also with the major emotion changed, 2 positive and 2 negative. And for the second experiment, we add the image select with the remain the same thing, and the statement with the 4 different emotion for changing the 4 different emotion for each image, and indicate what character depict the image is by this to say. So we first use the TPR and FPR and ROC to evaluate the large language model, and the model performance varies with different source setting and impersizing need optimal select. And we can see the results. The negative emotion, this is the result for the first. The right side, for the right side image, we showed the first result. And we can see the negative emotion, which is 50, which is the 79.6% accuracy in the negative context, and 72.8% in the positive context, and while the effective in the identify surprising large language model construct determined it is stimulate or often definite neutral classification. And for the second experiment, we studied the accuracy with the large language model, predict evaluate of the emotion by input 6 different emotional changing sentence and with the same visual stimulate, and the arrangement allows for clear visual analysis of how different emotion can predict and by the model based on the various text input. And the second, we can see the predict accuracy of large language model varies across the emotional spectra. Among the negative emotion, the emotion of the disgust is highlighted as the most challenging for large language model to accurately predict and consistent, showing the lowest accuracy. And the large language model require additional promote or more detailed inputs to reach higher level of the accuracy when the predicts negative emotion. And in the zero-shot scenario, the model's performance in predicting the evolution of the negative emotion is not notable worker compared to the prediction involving positive emotion. And the sensitive across these 3 data sets are random mark consistent and with one significant outlier is the emotion of discussed language model encounter not able challenge when interpret statement of the discussed particular with the positive contextual, where such the statement might be misconstructed and as humans or playful. And this is the other result for the second experiment. So the conclusion part, so we first develop a model with the emotion stability factor lambda and to understand the individual different emotional dynamic and enabling tolerate interpretation and treatment. And the mathematical modeling can predict the emotional shift, allowing per act storage to improve mental health and well-being. And the experiment results show that the positive emotions predict of the large language model are consistent with the trend of our model. For the emotion predicting changes and they are the current accuracy in the relation experiment in the emotional state. Okay, that's all.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Xifei. Xifei?
Yeah,
You
can you hear me?
Any question for the public? No question. I have a small question for you, Xifei. It's I think that your work is very interesting because dynamic or since emotion in many recently has been so hot an issue and rising topic. Dynamic of emotion is still a very interesting and promising way of development of this kind of research. And I think your mathematical model of evolution of emotion dynamics is very interesting. But do you think to extend your experiment with other data sets or other multi-modal sources, data set of sources? Do you plan to extend your experiment?
So the experiment, for the first experiment, we give the 6 basic emotion, and first we do the recognition for this image, and give them 4 situations, 2 positive emotion, 2 positive situations and 2 negative situations, and ask them according to this situation, what emotion will be changed of this person from the image, and compare these results, the large language model result with our models. And second experiment, we give also the same image for, with the first experiment, and the second part we change the 6 different sentence. The different sentence has 6 basic emotions, and according to this sentence, what the person emotion will change. Use this to predict.
Okay, thank you very much, Xifei. See you next time, and we end here our workshops, and we have a coffee break, I think. We have time for a coffee break. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Can I leave the meeting?
Can you repeat?
Can I leave the meeting? Or
See, yes, thanks.
okay, thank you.
talking that we allow